And we're live. Shout out to the people tuning in this morning. Big up yourself. Thank you for being here. We're not going to do our traditional morning thoughts, morning thoughts, morning thoughts. We're going to left that out this morning. I know somebody is going to be like, wow, I've been saying morning thoughts, morning thoughts, morning thoughts for the longest, and I'm not abandoning it, but I am going to get into something right off the bat so it doesn't get lost in the content we're going to do this morning. All right. After I go through this, then we'll shout out some people. Then we start getting into our content for the morning. So, shout out to the people tuning in this morning. Big up and thank you for being here. Well, we're starting out like this. Remember when the hurricane hit Jamaica the other day? And we said that, instead of handing $5 here, $10 there, $20 here, $30 there, $50 there, your donations all over the place. It would be best for us to concentrate on like helping one family at a time. And as a platform, I think it would be something wise for us to help like a family. Well, I've come up with a plan, and today I will be putting together our GoFundMe page to execute this plan, right? If it work, it work. If it don't work, it don't work. I'm not going to speak too much doubt in the air. We're just going to move by faith and hope that it happens. So this is how it's going to go, right? The goal for the GoFundMe will be $100,000. We're thinking big. I was thinking even bigger, and I had to scale it back yesterday. I was talking to Wifey yesterday, and in my mind, I was honestly thinking $500,000. I was thinking 5 families, and I'm thinking, and I'll tell you in a minute what it is we're going to do for each family. And then I scaled it down all the way down, which some part of me is already exercising doubt because I have tried this before with my platform and it just didn't work out. I was left holding the bill and had to pay for things mainly out of my own pocket with the help of about 5 people. I know you might see the channel and you might see like 400 and something thousand subscribers here. It's not like how you think it is. Oh, if everybody sends SouFlo $1, he'll have $400,000. 90% of who, 95% of who is here won't send even $1. That's the reality, right? So, thinking realistically, we're going to set up a GoFundMe today. You're going to be seeing my little commercials run from now on almost every video we post, just reminding you to put $1 in the GoFundMe. As you know, me and Wifey, we just had a baby. So the baby is only a week old at this point. She cannot travel yet. We have not gone to Jamaica for this year yet, and we missed going last year up to that point. Else we would have been back in Jamaica again for around Christmas season, which is, we always go that time of year. Our date or time set for reaching Jamaica this 2026 is June of 2026. We will be in Jamaica. This time it's going to be an extended stay again. And this time also we will be undertaking all the things that I have planned on to do with this GoFundMe proceeds. So I don't want to send money to Jamaica and have somebody do anything for me. I want to be on the ground doing it myself. And I want to be able to be accountable in person for what is planned to be done. That way I can account first person to my audience who donate the money without any excuses. I did send it, got to this person, but it never work out and them thief it, or that person didn't do this and this person. It'll be no excuses. So I've really brainstormed this as to how I can streamline this into where there will be no excuses, right? And this is what we've come up with so far. So today I'll be working on putting the GoFundMe together. Look forward to the GoFundMe popping up. The goal is $100,000. We're focusing on 2 families. I want 2 families. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to house 2 families. We're going to house 2 families whose houses have been destroyed. Contrary to popular belief, some people think that everybody whose house was destroyed already have a new house and everybody good and people don't need help anymore, when this is farthest from the truth. People have put up together clapboard and zinc and throw tarpaulin over the top and they're living in conditions that is heartbreaking to see, right? A lot of people still are out there with absolutely nothing. So we're going to choose two families, but I don't want to choose two families and just give them one thing. I want to choose two families and put them back on their feet, back in the game completely, which it means we're going to have to purchase. And yesterday I made connection with a particular dealer in Jamaica who manufactures, sell these houses, right? I saw some beautiful prefabricated houses yesterday that I'm shocked that they are that good. Not even I haven't seen those even in America, right? So I'm like, yo, and the price line for them is good to go. So we're gonna have to prepare the space. I'll walk you through how the money is gonna be spent. We're gonna have to prepare the space, the concrete slab, the foundation that house is going to sit on, right? Then we're going to have to purchase the house. And then we're going to have to pay for the transportation, the delivery, the logistics of getting it to the location. And then we're going to have to pay experts who work in the field, like electrician and plumbers, so the house could be hooked up properly to electricity and hooked up properly to running water inside of the house. We're probably going to have to, if they don't have already, a water tank, and we're going to have to do like an overhead water tank for them. I'm trying to do every single thing that when I walk away from it, I know that that family is 100% operational and can stand on their own altogether, right? Then we're going to have to pay to have the houses anchored at a Category 5 specifications. Remember, we talked about this before. These houses can sustain a Category 5 hurricane, but they need to be anchored properly. So they need to be on a proper concrete foundation. They need to be anchored properly. I want to have them hooked up with plumbing and electricity. Of course, we're going to have to pay for the logistics of getting them there, the logistics of the people who are going to have to build the foundation to put them on, the people who are going to have to anchor them. All of this is going to cost money right through, right? And then in the end, I'm thinking of solar lighting, 2 of them. Now, we might not be able to solar light them completely, but we're talking about, like, you see the Soninka outside lighting that I've been showing you? We're thinking about a couple of those around the place, so the place well lit up and nice, and leave a family to stand on their feet. I'm looking for families that also have children involved in them. So June is a type of is that time where school starting back, summer vacation will be over, school will be starting back. Ease this family's burden for the rest of the year also. That means we will take on the children going back to school, the children's supply. We're talking about them new uniform, them school shoes, if they're into athletics, their athletic supplies and all the other things that needed, right? Book, pencil, pen, paper, all them something there. All their supplies needed for that. And it'll be nice to even be able to leave a little something extra as far as cash goes in their hand. Get them on their feet completely. That's the goal. And the goal is, I think this goal is very achievable, and it is 2 families, and my audience will get to watch every step of this. That is a clear-cut accountability, right? I don't want anybody guessing, well, I wonder when him going to do it, or if him did use the money to actually do it. No, we're going to be doing, we won't be pushing the camera in people's faces, like, look at me, I give them, see the person here. But these will definitely be people who you are able to talk, or they're able to talk to you. So you know what's going on and you see the process of what is going on. So look out for the GoFundMe. We'll be working on putting the GoFundMe up today, putting it together today. I just thought the first thing I would do this morning is to explain that to my audience. So when they see it, they know what's going to be taking place. All right. With that said, again, this is a time when I will be in Jamaica. This is a time when I will be bringing my own team to Jamaica. So we will be on the ground as well, doing everything that is required in this. I have 2 children that are going off to college that same summer. and I have one who is already in college. I'm super blessed. I'm super blessed. And I want these children hitting the age they are now, where they're heading over into adulthood, young adults. I want them to see this firsthand. Not only see it, I want them to participate in it. So my children understand where they come from, the people, the resilient people they come from, and also how blessed they are. You know what I'm saying? They'll be able to see firsthand what's going on in other people's lives. Yesterday, we sat around watching historic videos about Jamaica and Jamaican politics and the war of the 80s, the political war of the 80s, and all that. So my children are super submerged in Jamaica and Jamaican cultures. They have no doubt about themselves that they are Jamaican children, right? So I want them to be a part of this as well, and they will be a part of this as well. So all that is in the planning and in the making to come. And again, I don't want anybody doing this for me, third person. Me not send no money, go get nobody. For nobody, do nothing. I want to be there on the ground. Of course, I'm going to link up with people on the ground who this is their expertise. But I want to be the one who is held accountable for everything, right? It's a big stretch, but it's very doable, and we plan on doing it just as I just explained to you. That's a blessing for real. And my brother Mervin, big up yourself, Mervin, and thank you for being here. Mervin is one of them who is like, remember when Mervin did the whole, we have a platform where we talk to people all the time. So some people are like, SouFLo, me, never going back to Jamaica. And they haven't been back for years. Maybe because they left in the 80s or 90s and things did set a different way and it was bad. And, you know, we spend a lot of time telling people, go back home. Even if you had a bad experience, go somewhere else, but still go back. Or, you know, you might have to cut off some people, but still go back. Don't let anything stop you. Be in touch with your people. Invest there. All other kind of stuff like that. And Mervin jumped out and said he is offering your entire stay for free over the Christmas holidays. You know, I was surprised that nobody took that. Well, we couldn't find anybody who qualified because most people had just been to Jamaica, or the ones who hadn't been in a while, they were like, I don't have a passport and all these other kind of things that made them ineligible for it. But for a brother like that to offer you, and we went live with Mervin one morning and he showed us the location, you know, beautiful location. You would have been able to see the Caribbean Sea from your balcony kind of thing. And I thought, damn. And this is somebody who would have taken you around the island to different festivities while they were doing so with their own family and friends. And you would have been submerged right back into your culture had you not been there for some time. So this is the kind of family vibes we want to foster. Take these two families, take care of these two families, put them back on their feet. That way we can look at them and say, we do that. Our people does. And we know that they're good. We know all the children in the house are good. We know mommy good. We know the family good. And everybody is good in that house. That's what we're dealing with. With that said, I'm so OCD that the whole time I'm here talking to you, all is going through my mind is morning thoughts, morning thoughts, morning thoughts. Let me get it out my head. This is going to bother me all morning. Shout out to the people going out to work this morning. Shout out to the people coming in from work this morning. Extra special big up shout out to the people who work multiple jobs. I have the utmost respect for you. Shout out to my entrepreneurs, my stay-at-home moms and pops, my retirees. Shout out to the drivers. Shout out to the Uber driver, Lyft driver, truck driver, taxi driver, food delivery drivers, route town and long distance truck drivers. Shout out to the crossing guards and the school teachers. Shout out to law enforcement personnel, medical field personnel, military personnel. Whatever your job description is, shout out to you. Shout out to the barbers in the barbershops, beauticians, hairdressers. Shout out to the nail techs. Shout out to the heavy equipment operators and construction workers. Shout out to the chefs in kitchens and secretaries in offices. Whatever it is you do for a living, shout out to you. Shout out to every single clean-hearted, good-hearted person who wish good for others as much as you wish good for yourself. That, at the core of you, if that is you, you're a good person. If that's not you, then do some work on having that become you. Because when you start to wish good for others as much as you wish good for yourself, you really start to evolve into becoming a better human being. You know what I mean? And here we are. Dental assistant, big up yourself, shout out to them too. We can't do without them. All right. So here we are on this beautiful Monday morning. Today is the 19th of January 2026, and we're happy to be here. We made it, and we're thankful that we are here. I'm going to give a couple of shout outs to the names who are in the chat this morning, and then we're going to go on to our content. Today is supposed to be some holiday. I'm hearing that it's Dr. Martin Luther King's Day. The children are off school. A lot of businesses are closed, and a lot of people have the day off. However, most people go to work still. Miss Golden Robinson, thank you for being in here this morning. The first one in as well. S. Diva is in the building with us this morning, bright and early. Juno Bryan, thank you for being here. Yvonne Walford is in the building with us this morning. Roddy's daughter, big up yourself. Senior Sexy, big up yourself. Thank you for being here. Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning.
Morning, SouFLo. Morning.
Morning, family. How you doing?
Yeah, man. Good seeing you. SouFLo, I just see a video with the green card marriage situation.
Mm-hmm.
The video low.
The video volume is low.
The video volume is low. Can you hear that thing?
Really?
Yeah, man. We'll check it out.
Okay, thank you, brother. I posted yesterday. I never got a chance to go back over it to see how it posts.
All right.
I appreciate that. I'll go have a look at it soon. All right. Thank you for that. So come nobody never tell me that, or probably they did in the comment section of the video, and I just haven't been back to the video to see it yet. All right. So Simon G is in the building with us this morning. Senior Sexy is also here. Thank you for being here. We appreciate you greatly. Audrey, big up yourself. Audrey Wright's in the building this morning. Says morning, fam and present teacher. Hit the thumbs up button as you enter the like, please. You're the finest is in the building with us this morning. Big up yourself. Sonia Unstoppable is also with us this morning. Sharon Spence is in the building with us this morning. Nisha Nans, thank you for being here this morning. Big up yourself. We're not going to call out too many more names. Mervyn the Point, Jamaica Kerr is in the building. Marilyn Grant is in the building with us this morning. S. Diva is in the building with us this morning. Black Eagle is here this morning. Thank you for being here, Dorothy T. Let's Bond TV, 5 Up is in the building, bright and early this morning. Thank you for being here, and we appreciate your presence here. Virtuous Fire, we appreciate your presence here. Winston Gale, Stacy Ann, thank you for being here this morning as well. And we are going to get into our topics. Now, if I didn't call your name, you already know how that goes. We can't spend all morning bigging up everybody that's tuned in. It's a lot of people in here this morning. All right. Empress Stephanie, thank you for being here as well. All right. This morning we have a few topics. I didn't want to be on for too long this morning because it's a day off. And anytime there's a day off, I want to be around my family for the day off. Like my kids have some time off. If it's even just to sit down and watch them play or something like that, or interact with them or something. But I can't avoid, or I can't help but coming here to interact with you though. All right. CNAs, big up yourself, dental assistant, all these things. Yeah, man, that's why we said those in the medical field. All right. What do we have here this morning? Let's start out with This is what's on the board, and you tell me which one to start with, and we'll start right there. So, Cat Coore, actually, you know what? No, I think it's only appropriate that we start right there, and then I'll tell you the rest of them. So, Cat Coore has passed away, and a person like Cat Coore, you can't just skip over a Cat Coore passing away. Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning.
Morning, SouFLo.
Morning, family. How you doing?
Good, you?
I'm good enough. Talk to me.
The video with the man attack, it's fine. I'm watching and hear it fine.
I forgot check it to see if it's nothing wrong with it.
No, it's fine. I watched the whole thing.
All right, thank you. So maybe it's his. Maybe a film device, that's true?
Yeah.
All right. Mega check though. Thank you.
All right.
All right, so I'm gonna give me a moment and I'm gonna pay some reverence to that brother here. Cat Coore is a legend. Okay, I've seen Cat Coore perform live before, and I was blown away. I don't know if you ever been to a live concert where the person on the stage is so good you forgot what venue you were in. Like you forget which city you did there. I forgot where I was. Cat Coore is somebody who he would go play the guitar and then he would put down the guitar and go over to the violin and he would go, he's a multi-instrumentalist. I would call him a musical genius over the years that I've been watching him. He's just phenomenal. And not only that, he's a part of he's a part of the movement that took reggae music and brought it into this other arena, upon this other level. I don't know any other way to express that. So anyhow, the legendary Third World co-founder, Stephen Cat Coore, has died. If you don't know about Third World, Third World is another legendary group, right? Stephen Cat Coore of Third World has died. Suddenly, he passed away Sunday evening, leaving his family, friends, and fans across the world in mourning. Cat Coore was born April 6th of 1956, had for more than 50 years been a guitarist, cellist for the iconic reggae band Third World. In a release early this morning, his family made the announcement of his passing. Cat Coore was a founding member and musical director of Third World, whose pioneering fusion of reggae, soul, funk, pop, and rock helped to shape the reggae fusion sound and propel Jamaica's music onto the global stage. Under his musical leadership, Third World achieved international acclaim with enduring classics such as Now That We've Found Love. Now that we found love, what are we gonna do with it? You know them kind of song there? 96 Degrees in the Shade, Try Jah Love, among others, becoming one of Jamaica's longest running and most successful bands to date. Celebrated for his exceptional musicianship, compositional brilliance, and deep musical knowledge, Coore was widely regarded as a cultural ambassador who elevated reggae music and inspired generations of artists both at home and abroad. In recognition of his outstanding contribution to Jamaican culture and the creative arts, Cat Coore was awarded membership in the Order of Distinction, OD, by the government of Jamaica, honoring his decades of service through music and his role in promoting Jamaica's cultural legacy globally. He leaves behind his wife Lisa, his children Shia, Kana, Stephen, and Ashley, his grandchildren, as well as extended family, his bandmates, his colleagues, and countless fans across the globe. You know, I've said this before, I'll say it here too. When people like this die, as we say, die, I don't like to use the word die. I just put it there because that's what everybody has been trained to use, and that's what we're accustomed to saying. Him dead, you know. She dead, you know. That's how we say people pass away. I like to use the word transcended more than die, right? Cat Williams, not him, but Cat Williams, the comedian, Cat Coore, at the essence of what Cat Coore has done, there are many more who have spawned off of Cat Coore. So no doubt that his spirit will live on. No doubt that the classics that he composed and created will live on. The many videos that are out there of him performing live that has left people like me and many others across the globe in a trance. If you've never seen him perform live, just go and look up Third World Band performing live and look up Cat Coore performing live and you will see what I'm talking about. This guy's not no regular person when it comes to the music. You know what I mean? I'm happy that he was ours, and I'm happy that he used his God-given gifts and talents to propel our culture to the levels he did in the time he was given here on earth. Like all people, you're born once, you're dead one time, And in that space of when you were born to when you go, it is what you do in that space that will be talked about, remembered, or will leave you completely forgotten. I have no doubt that Cat will never be forgotten. He's one of them who came to forever be here. And with that, we'll say fly high, right? With the ancestors in that realm until it's our turn to go also. Life is short. No matter how long you live that life here, it's still short. I tell people I work in the field of occupational therapy, and I always love talking to the elderly population. And I still remember talking to that man who was 99 years old, and they were in the facility preparing for his 100th birthday. And I asked him and I said, how does it feel to be 100? Like, I'm thinking 100 years. I'm not even half of his age. I would have to live this whole life all over again, plus some. And he said, one of the things he said was, don't get me wrong, I lived every bit of it. I had a wonderful life. But I can't believe that it's coming to an end. And I'm thinking while he's talking, what it must feel like to be 100. You don't have much longer left after 100. I don't care when nobody wants to be. Somebody who lived till them was 135, 100. Me don't know about all that. You don't have much longer good functioning life left after 100. Most of us probably won't make it to 100 because most people don't make it to 100, right? He said, it went by like this. I can't believe it's been 100 years. And don't get me wrong, I lived every bit of it. And I remember it. And he was happy that he was blessed to be turning 100, and his memory was still sharp enough to recollect 100 years. Of course, he didn't remember when he was 1 and 2 and them kind of age there. But he remembers all these years. That's tons of memories. And he's going out with all his memory intact, right? He said, no matter how long you live, it is still a short life. And I thought, damn, if he could live to 100 and say it was a short life, I'm going to reach half of that yet. So the message is, we send people like Coore off with great reverence because these people came and they made their mark. And not only that, it wasn't a selfish mark. Cat was a Rastaman. So it was in the vein of our culture and uplifting his people and our culture. The man that never co-signed nothing that was derogatory, nasty, dirty, anything that would have made anybody turn their head across the globe, look at Jamaica and say, ew, never. And we have to honor people like those. But also in his passing, we look at it like it's a lesson for us. Get up and get moving. Do something and leave your mark. Find your purpose and live in it. You're not really living until you found your purpose, really. All other thing outside of that is just you rummaging through trying to figure out what it is you came for. And trust me, you came here for something. You were created for a reason. You came for a purpose. You have to get back in tune with you, the authentic you, and find what it is you came for and live in that purpose. Because one day you too shall be a RIP, right? And you don't want to be a RIP, never to be spoken of again. Never have lived your purpose or served your purpose. So that is that. May his soul rest in peace. His energy will definitely be transferred. And our highest honors to Coore. A life well lived. We could sit here and say, boy, 69, him had enough more years to go, man. That's around my mama age. I look at my mom, she got enough years to go, in my mind. The Most High have a different plan, though. So you don't know when that cutoff date is. So stop the procrastinating. Stop the I'll do it tomorrow. Stop the we're not really too sure if maybe get to it. Get to it. It's in you. It's trying to come out and manifest. Get it done. All right. I will always remind the cat when Here, 96 degrees in the shade. Real hot. Oh God, their rendition of real. That man will live on forever. Trust me. Degrees in the shade. R.I.P. Cat, says Shirley Williams. You know? All right. So now that we've paid some honor and a big respect to Cat Coore, we can move on this morning. Here is what we have on the board this morning. There's a video going around about a woman who detailed how she called ICE on a Jamaican restaurant owner and got the restaurant closed down and the people them deported. We can start there because there's a conversation to be had around that. Or we can talk about Kiprich and Kizzy, who some of you might not know, but a lot of you probably will know. Kiprich is a longtime musician who is still here, still doing it. Very popular. So even if you don't know who Kizzy is and the relationship with Kizzy and Kiprich, you probably more than likely know who Kiprich is, right? So Kiprich and Kizzy recently, they had a baby and their baby was prematurely born. So we can talk about Kiprich and Kizzy, or we can talk about the woman who called ICE, or we can talk about think before you act. The think before you act one is a advice, so to speak, about social media and what you're posting on social media. You choose, I'll go. You have 60 seconds to choose where we start and I'll go. All right. Let's say Mistress B talks health and wellness with a twist starts out with ICE. We are 9, 10 seconds in and counting. I see one ICE. I see one woman call the police from Nisha. I see one social media. That's 3 different topics. Think before you act is the social media one. That's 2 for that. That one is leading. ICE, that's 2 for ICE, 2 for social media, 3 for social media, 2 for ICE. ICE 4, Dorothy T. ICE 5, Pussy G. Woman with ICE 6. It looked like ICE has taken over. That's 5 for ICE, 3 for social media, 6 for ICE, Julie Tapper, 7 for ICE, Patricia Jackson, social media, BM, ICE, Marie Wallace, ICE, Let's Bond TV. It looks like it's going to be ICE. ICE, Marie Wallace, ICE, okay, social media, Empress Stephanie, ICE, social media, BM, Roland Richards, ICE. We are 40 seconds in. ICE is leading by a long shot. All me sit down as I know ICE, 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 baby. Doom, 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 doom. All right, I'm going to go and cue up the ICE something. All right, it looks like it's ICE is going to be. We're 10 seconds away. 9, 8, it's very icy in here. 7, 6, 5, a beer ice step on the screen. 4, 3, 2, 1, and ice it is. Yo, look, as soon as I open my phone, look, I see that. It's like everybody has her up this morning. I talk about her. Woman called ICE on Jamaican restaurant owner over a food complaint that resulted in them being deported. All right, let's get into this one. Y'all can hold off on the phone calls. I will tell you when the phone line is open. All right, and then we can get into that. Let's see if this is clean.
It was so nasty to me. I just had to get her. So I called the ICE hotline. And I told them that there are...
Hold on. Everybody is carrying this. This one right here. I like this one because it doesn't have the music behind it. Some people put music behind the content, and then when they put the music behind the content, we end up getting a copyright strike whenever we try to secondhand use the content. So here we go.
I called ICE on somebody. This Jamaican lady, she has this restaurant. I can't tell you what town it's in, but very nasty attitude. I went in to buy a dinner about 3 weeks ago, and she gave me some burnt up rice. Now, I paid about $27 for this dinner, and I had 2 side orders. She gave me some burned up rice and some nasty piece of chicken. The chicken tastes rotten. Now, when I got to my car and opened up the meal, the container was stinking. Okay, that's how rotten the food was. So I went inside and politely asked her for another plate because the food was not adequate. And I told her what was wrong with the food. So she, yeah, I called ICE on somebody. Got very loud, very nasty, very, very nasty lady. Instead of just taking the food back, making me another plate, I didn't eat it, hardly anything out of it. Instead of her being a nice business owner, making the customer happy, she decides to curse me out like a dog. Her attitude was so nasty, very nasty. So I already figured she was in this country illegally because she has this heavy accent. I knew, I can tell. I knew that she was here illegally, her and her husband. And I'm saying if you're going to be here illegally in this country, you can at least be humble about it, okay? And be nice to people. Because people can call ICE on you like I did her ass. So what ended up happening is she refused to give me another dinner. Got very loud, very nasty. So I ended up losing my money. But I'm not the type of person to argue with people or anything like that. So I just took it as a loss. I said never again. But anyway, I got angry about it when I went home. I thought about it. So I called the ICE hotline. Now, I have never done this to anybody. There's a lot of people I could do this to. But I don't have a reason to call ICE on people if they're nice to me and they're doing what they're supposed to do. I have no reason to do that to anybody. But this woman was so nasty to me. I just had to get her. So I called the ICE hotline. And I told them that there are some illegal Jamaican people at this location working in a restaurant. Guess what happened? Now, that was 3 weeks ago. I drove by there today, and they are no longer there. So I ended up losing my money, but I'm not the type of person to argue with people or anything like that. So I just took it as a loss. I said never again. But anyway, I got angry about it when I went home. I thought about it. So I called the ICE hotline. Now, I have never done this to anybody. There's a lot of people I could do this to. But I don't have a reason to call ICE on people if they're nice to me and they're doing what they're supposed to do. I have no reason to do that to anybody. But this woman was so nasty to me. I just had to get her. So I called the ICE hotline. And I told them that there are some illegal Jamaican people at this location, no longer there. So I just happened to ask this man that was in the business right next to this Jamaican spot. I asked him, I said, what happened to that Jamaican restaurant that was right next door to your business? And he said, oh, a bunch of ICE agents came in there last week and, they were illegal here and they got deported. That's what happened. So I was thinking, okay, all right, thank you. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, see, that's what you get for being nasty to people. So if you were in this country illegally, you better be humble and you better be grateful and you better be respectful towards Americans. That's all I'm going to say to you. Because the same thing can happen to you. All you got to do is get on that phone and call that ICE hotline number. Okay? It's on Google. And they will come there and they will investigate. But she got what she deserved, just being nasty, no longer there.
All right. I'm gonna switch the phone back over to the call-in phone. I see a lot of people in the comment section saying exactly some of the stuff that I was thinking. I'm a very good person I'm very good at picking up an accent, right? Jamaican people, we can't hide. Caribbean people, you can't hide. Even when you try to sound like you American and you start talking like this all day, like I call ice on these people because I went in there and I tried to get some food and the food was nasty. You know what I mean? I opened a container, the food was stink. Honestly, that's how bad the food was. Somewhere in there, y'all gonna slip up and say something with sound like a Caribbean somebody. This person right here, and I saw one person say it in the comment section, this person right here sounds like she's from the Caribbean somewhere as well. Not only that, I see Let's Bond TV, 5 Up, and a couple of other people said, for some reason, this is hitting like a fake story. I mean, people do anything nowadays for a viral video, right? And I should tell the Jamaican audience this before I go any further. Y'all got to be careful on social media because people know that Jamaicans, once you call their name, they're coming for you. It could be anything you say about Jamaican. That's why you will see some people go out of their way to be like, I don't know who eats Jamaican food. I don't like Jamaican food at all. Their food don't taste good because they know by tomorrow morning is 1 million Jamaicans going to be on that. And people don't care if you're cursing them out. They just want the views and the interaction, the clicks and the interaction, right? Because that's what going viral is. I myself don't think that this is real because I'm listening to what she's saying, and she said she took the food to the car, and when she opened the container, the food stink. It was so stink. And then she said she ate some of it. Why would you eat some of it when the food stink when you open the container? That tell me already said this could be a fake story, right? Why would you eat some of it when you open the container and the food stink? She said the food is rotten. You could tell the food was rotten because it stink. But you ate some? Not only did she do that, you know, if you follow the story, not only did she do that, we're not idiot. She said she took the food back inside and she asked for another plate. If I go to a restaurant and I have a takeout and I take it to the car, I'm open it, I'm excited. I'm like, I'm gonna get some of that food there before I start driving. And I open it and it's like, oh my God, the food stink, the food rotten. I'm not tasting it. And I'm definitely not going back in there to ask them to make me another plate. I'm going back in there to either say, you know what? I don't even want a refund. Have your food. I'm just letting you know that you served sour food. I'm never coming back here. Out the door. That sounds more realistic, right? Who goes into where somebody served you a plate of sour food and you go ask for your next plate of food? It don't make no sense to me. It don't make no sense to me. So on that note, those are the things that make me think that this is a fake video. On another note now, there are people out there who are like this. You know, I ran my mom's business here in Florida for 2 years. My mom's business, her restaurant was here for 20 years. See? And very successful restaurant, tons of customers. I've seen stuff like this before. Not saying our restaurant did it, but I also grew up in Miami. And back in the day when I was growing up in Miami, I knew quite a few Jamaican restaurants that had people who not too straight. Them situation not too 100. You know, they were the ones that used to work in the back and scrape and wash the pot them and cook the food and all these other things. And people knew that they were around there, of course, because you would see the youth on the side, a bun a split and them run a back a play domino and all these other kind of things. And they were living as if they were 9 to 5 employed legally, but they weren't. And those are some of the jobs that you could get when you run off a foreign. You know, nobody can put you on no books and give you no 9 to 5 with these kind of pays, but you can wash the pot them and they plate them in at the back of a restaurant. And usually you go to your Jamaican people, you know, I say you can tell her, say, Miss Lou, Miss Lou have a restaurant down in Miami there. You can say, Miss Lou, boy, not too straight in that place still, you know. But I try to make a money, you know, for help out the situation, pay the bills and them thing there. And Miss Flo will say, here why you have to go hold it down, but I have a thing what I can do for you still, you know, come back Monday. And she'll say, you don't mind wash the pot them and clean up around the back and them something there. It will keep you off of the radar, you know what I say? So these things do happen. Another thing that made me think this was a fake video because the restaurant owner and her husband can't be both illegal and be upfront serving everybody. Whose name would that restaurant be in? Cause you think you just open restaurant here? I learned through my mom restaurant, you gotta go through a whole lot of stuff to open a restaurant here. So their background would have already been exposed. Their status immigration wise would have already been exposed. So it's definitely not, don't sound more than I think about it, a real story. My daddy am at a restaurant already, I share food. And in the middle of the day, 2 inspectors show up. One hit the back door, one hit the front door to the restaurant. And I'm helping my mom. And I was told to put the food down and come to the back. And mom took over the food, served the customer, I went to the back. And they were like, who are you? And why are you in here? Did she employ you? Whatever. I'm like, that's my mother. And, you know, I was in the army at the time, but I was visiting. I was transitioning out of military. So I was like, yeah, I'm just helping my mom, you know? And they're like, how long have you been here serving the food? And I'm like, I only got into the country. I live in Germany. I only got here like 3 days ago. You know, I'm trying to help my mom. And they're like, yeah, we're the inspector. Then pull out them badge. It looked like one police badge. And they're like, if you're going to be serving food, I understand you're helping your mom, but if you're going to be serving food here and you're doing it on a continuous basis, you're going to need a food license. So I went and got my food license. You're going to need a food license. Now you have to go through one book with ticks up, one folder. You have to go through and you got to learn all kinds of stuff about food and serving food and temperature of food and when it's not safe and how to store this, and you have to throw away that and all these things. And then you do a state exam and you get a certification and a seal. And your certification, your seal, you can peel it off and stick it to a glass, and your certificate must be up front somewhere visible at the front of the restaurant, right? So I learned all this stuff. So what she talk about, it don't work like that, really. It don't work. If she said that she got some of their employees fired, and she got the business in trouble because they hire illegals, then I could have said, wicked woman. But yeah, that could have gone. But the husband and the wife, and they're the owners, that's a dead giveaway to me, knowing the restaurant business that. And so it go. In that saying though, hear me out, right? In that saying though, there are situations like this that do happen, and then there are people out there who are exactly like how you see her acting. Exactly like her. You know, I don't want to bring no contention between Caribbean people and our African American brothers and sisters, because I do know that there are African American brothers and sisters out here who are not for the division. They're not for the foolishness. They haven't been tricked and hoodwinked and bamboozled, and they're not divided in thought, right? Them look for we, them see them, right? But there's a large population out there of them who look at us and see strangers, enemies even, distant people who they should get rid of. The situation that's happening in Minneapolis, where their police, the ICE agents are starting to go door to door. And you know, I saw somebody put up, yeah, get them all the F out of our country. Get out all them damn Indians, get out them Hispanics, get out them illegal, them all the black ones that are not foundational black Americans or FBA, they say, get their asses out. And guess whose name rolls off their lip just like that? Jamaican. They didn't say get the people from Antigua and Barbuda out, get the people from Grenada out. They didn't even say get those Caribbean blacks out who are illegal here. They said get them damn Africans and them damn Jamaicans out. So I got into a discourse with somebody because I said, you know, you could be here and be black and be legal but not have been born here, right? Oh, you could be here and be black and not have been born here, but you're perfectly legal here. So get the damn Jamaicans out, get the damn the Africans out. And it was surprising to me, but not surprising, but it was a group of black people, Americans, who call themselves Americans, that were carrying on this way. You know, they'll come to your business. They will support your business as in getting what they want, and they'll leave. They don't really wish you well. They're looking for a reason. You know what I mean? They're looking for a reason to argue with you. They're looking for a reason to tell you about yourself. In times like this, they're looking for a reason to be able to call ICE on you. ICE will show up, and you won't know why ICE show up because of that. So although she's giving me the vibes like she's acting, there are very real people out here who are just like her, and they are black people. They are black people. I keep on telling my black people this though. Sore stuff to talk about because they hate when I speak about it. But I came to the US as a child. Okay, repeating the same story. I came to the US as a child, and I never had. It wasn't until I was 16. I was 16 and I went up to Davie from Miami, took a bus up to Davie to go get a job at a Publix warehouse because I always wanted to be the boy that were going to my school in Miami. The boys that went to my school, the older boys, everybody was rushing to get a warehouse job because them get a warehouse job at 16 in high school. You start make good money so you could buy a nice car, right? So the older guys, me not reach 16 yet. So the older guys, them are get them money and they're buying their cars and stuff. I'm like, I can't wait to reach 16. I'm gonna go get me one of those Publix warehouse jobs. I live in Miami. It's way up in Davie. We drive go up at Davie. I learned that Davie was the home of the KKK. The founding home of the KKK is in Davie, Florida. So me gone up in another place, I never know about it. That's the first time I got called the N-word with a hard ER at the end. And I had my cousin from Canada who was with me, and Richard. Richard was here on a full ride scholarship, a basketball scholarship. And he was with me, and Richard was so frightened. I kid you not. He went right back to Canada. He went right back to Canada. So through this experience is where I first learned that this is the home. The big car, it was a truck, a pickup truck. The pickup truck with the big flag by the back, waving hard. They drove past us first and burned tires. And I'm standing at the bus stop because I just done, finished my interview, and I got the job. And, you know, I'm like, okay, when do I start? Them tell me my start date, and I'm going home now. I'm standing at the bus stop. I'm trying to figure, okay, how I'm going to commute back and forth to the school and do this job. Well, God spoke to me loudly. This job on a few SouFLo, because here comes this truck. At first I heard, I didn't, you know, it sound muffled. I don't know. The same truck spin around and come back. This time, them fling one buckle and they made it clear. The buckle mash. Bush. Me and my cousin look at each other. They stopped. Go home. With the hard ER at the end. Boy, I was praying for that bus to come so bad. Cause them time them I have no gun for me, don't have no knife for me, no nothing. And I'm standing there at the bus stop. The bus came, I jumped on the bus. I never went back to the place. So forget my starting date for the job that I just got. Me just never take the job. But it wasn't until I was that far into being here that I was called anything out my name by a white person, so to speak, or anybody else that wasn't black. But the whole time I had been here from I was small till growing up to that age, it was black people and it was African Americans who out of ignorance were, you know, they were always the agitators. They were always the go back on your banana boat kind of. They were always the get your Haitian ass out of here. I'm like, I'm not Haitian. Can't remember I keep telling y'all that. I was like, I'm not Haitian, I'm Jamaican. And they're like, I don't give a shit. Y'all the same shit. Get your ass back on your banana boat. And I'm like, I didn't come in a banana boat. I came on a plane. Yeah, right. Get your ass out. You know, they would taunt us. They would taunt us constantly. So now that we're grown, looking back on those and then seeing some of them today carry that mindset, it's not surprising. They've been carrying that mindset from way back then. I can't help to think that those were probably the parents who were young like I was back then, and now that I'm grown up with kids of my own, they grown up too with kids of their own, so they've imparted the same ideology onto their children. You know what I mean? Stay away from them damn Jamaicans. I don't like their ass. A lot of them here illegally. They just here taking up our jobs. All they want to do is like breed our women. They don't make good daddies for their kids. You know, them just say all kind of something boy, and they grow up with this thing in them where they don't even want to mix with you. They don't even want to mix with you. So seeing her do that video is very triggering, even though I could point out 3-4 points that make me think the video is fake, but that mindset and that personality, that persona is very real. And it's a lot of them out here. A lot of them out here. I don't know what we do them, because we never do them nothing. You know, we gave them Marcus Garvey, we gave them a bunch of other people, and we've done nothing but good and great. So apart from us entrenching ourselves in the struggles, I'm going to say this one more time though. For those of us who might be delulu about our history, African Americans cannot separate themselves from us because of how our history is. You see, those of us who, I don't care who you mix with, but if we're talking about blood lineage, for those who came to these shores a certain way, you came to these shores and you were moved around. You were moved around. Remember, you know, them used to like move your father, go and go sell him over there, so to Master Joe. And then your father would rebel because he misses family. And how dare you separate me from my family? You sell me off? Well, may I try to make it back to the plantation and then get back to my wife and kids? They would say he's a problem, so they would sell his ass to Florida. Somebody in Florida would buy him. And then he would start a whole new family in Florida. You got siblings, literally blood siblings in the Caribbean. That is our history. That history cannot be wiped out. That history cannot be changed. And it happened in the hundreds of thousands, if not millions, over all those years. We're talking about 400 years of chattel slavery. So we are we are the same people, man. I mean, I try to get it through everybody's head that we are the same people. You know, I don't know where the division comes in. We've been here in this country, United States of America, since the 1600s. Since the 1600s, we've been here. So, and I know some people are going to be like, we were here before that, SouFLo, way before that, right? Before all that slavery and all that was just an interruption of something else that was taking place already. I know all that. I know all that. And not everybody that was black was enslaved from I know all that. I'm just saying, Jamaicans on record, and I'm not speaking of any other Caribbean island, Jamaicans on record have been coming to the United States of America since the late 1600s to the early 1700s. You could go look this up. So when you talk about the time of segregation and the Jim Crow and all these things and servitude and stuff, we were right here. We were right here. Do you think back then when they had whites only restaurants, blacks go around the back or drink from this water fountain, do you think they used to say, whites only, but our Jamaicans, the black ones, they could come in over here on the white side? No, they didn't give a damn where we came from. We just looked black like all the other blacks that they didn't like, so you went that way where it says blacks only that way, and everybody else who's white go that way. We were here. We've been here. All the struggles that they've struggled, we've been here. So when I hear the conversation about we sacrificed and we paved the way for you to be able to come here, and no, we were here. We were here getting the dogs bite us up too. We were here fighting the water hose too. You know, the water hose them used to use and tear off the people them clothes. We were here getting beat down in these streets too. We were here getting locked up too as time progressed, and the long marches and the long speech and the sit-ins and get spit in our face and box down, and we were here doing all of it too. All of it too. We not just come here. We didn't just get here. And I want my African American brothers and sisters who somebody is working very hard. But you know, there are agents everywhere. Somebody is working very hard at making sure that that division multiplies, that division becomes something that is solid. Y'all gonna have to fight against that division. And you're gonna have to educate yourself properly. We've been here. We've been here right beside you. We are no different from you. If anything, get your ass up out of this United States of America and start traveling these Caribbean islands, because you might run into your extended family members, and some way you might be able to tell that, oh shit, you my long lost cousin. Go see. Go check them people in the Caribbean who carry the same names as y'all. Go look. You might even go there and start realizing, why me and these people look the exact same? Yo, I walked past this person, I swear to God, I thought that was my mom. I had to do like this. I swear to God, I thought that was my brother. I had to do like this. But I know my brother is not here. I know he's in South Carolina, or I know he's in New York. And we ain't never been to no Caribbean. We don't have no family there. Why we look alike like that? Because y'all the same people. Y'all the same people. Okay? Cheryl says it was a Jamaican who started the civil rights movement. Martin, Malcolm, and all the others came after Marcus started it. We've been here. And for the broader Caribbean, then, big up yourself too. Because a lot of their civil rights leaders and a lot of their champions, if you go check their background, Stokely Carmichael, Malcolm X, if you go check all these people's background, guess what you find in there? Go check and see what you find in there. So again, we've been here. We've been here. Don't let nobody talk you out of your contributions and have you feeling like, oh, y'all just got here. Bow down. Pay homage. Nah, man, we've been here fighting with you, right alongside you. Every wrong that was done to you was done to us too. Because we were here feeling it. We weren't outside looking in, waiting for you to finish the fight and make stuff better. Then we came in. We were here. We were here. All right. So again, from our African American family, man, that harbor these kind of feelings, it's out of ignorance. I'm not mad at you because I know ignorance. I'm just saying these are different times and you can educate yourself. Now, for my Jamaican people, especially Caribbean people, Jamaicans specifically, there are some of you who do harbor the same kind of ignorance as well. You know, you're under the impression that all of the Yankee them just lazy and them on welfare and them are some nasty people, dog, and them, you know, them disloyal and them this and them that. I grew up hearing that too. They're your people though. So once we start getting to where nothing divides us because we understand that we are the same people, watch and see how much things are going to change for us as a people. Once we start realizing that, oh shit, I am African American. By the way, I tell people this, right? Geographically speaking, the world is split up into continents. Yes? The United States of America is one country on a continent. I don't know why people think that the United States of America is a continent by itself or just one whole section of the world by itself. It's one country on a continent. So if you're going to call everybody here American, Americans are actually people who are on the continent of the Americas. Guess who is on the continent, the same continent? The entire Caribbean. You are Americans. You are Americans. Somebody did a great job, though, of slicing it up and saying, you're Jamaican, you're over there. Jamaican what? Where is Jamaica situated? You know what I'm saying? You are from this other island, you over there. You Haitian, you over there. You this, you over there. We're different. We're over here. We are Americans. We're the real Americans because you're in America. No, you're in the United States of America. That is the name of a country that is in the Americas. That one always go over a lot of people's head, but okay. Y'all are the same people, man. We are the same people. The same people. Yeah, of course, through division, culturally, we have differences there. We have different type of music. We might dress differently. We speak differently. But those are just add-ons. At the core of it all, if you're talking DNA, same people. Same people. And we're everywhere. Yes, Kaitai Jai. Yeah. So I'm not gonna go too much more into that one. Y'all can tell me what other topic you want. You see, I didn't even come to stay long this morning, but I'll be drawing it out because I feel like once I get started with you, we can't stop. Some don't even know Canada and Mexico is part of the continent. I'm telling you, friend, education goes a long way. Education goes a long way. And once you start to realize, one day I sit down, and I was looking, the round globe that people keep. I don't remember whose office I was in because these globes are usually, or I was in a library. And I was like spinning it. I like spin the globe. I said, okay, Jamaica is right here. Let me see how long it's supposed to take to reach England. Or where do you want to go China? Or who is down here? Oh, them then called down under. That's why I'm spinning the globe and I'm looking and I realize how the earth was split up. And I'm like, oh, so that was the first time I realized the United States of America is the name of a country. It's not an entire region by itself. It's one country that is in a region along with other countries that are on the same part, the same piece of land, the same piece of earth, or the same section of earth. I'm like, oh, so Jamaicans are Americans. Oh, and so are all the others. Okay, as in the country is situated in the Americas. Because when we look at where I say, I can't wait to go foreign. I want to go America. Well, you were already in America. You're already in the Americas. You're in the Americas sitting down talking about, I want to go America. Not knowing that you were already there. You're situated there. You wanted to go to the USA, but we grew up thinking that the USA was the Americas. Oh yeah, talk about big foreign. Yeah, America, man, America. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah. So yeah, the whole division thing, I hate seeing. And one more thing I'm gonna say before I change topic is this. There's another mission out here that they are on. Why people they keep doing a number on us, but I'm mad about that because we keep letting them do this number on us. There's this thing going around where I'm seeing more and more black people blaming themselves for slavery, for chattel slavery. More and more black people blaming themselves for chattel slavery, for what happened. In my book, that's the wickedest thing that ever happened to you in humanity. Chattel slavery. Those Africans that were removed off the continent, taken to Western world and enslaved and forced labor to build this new world that others would control and thrive off of, even up to this very day, the benefits of. And now we must turn around and blame ourselves for it. You know, I can't help but to think that somebody sat down around a table of people and they said, you know, Tom, we're going to have to find a way to engineer a way for us to escape this blame free. Well, your ancestors sold you to us. So before you get mad at us, ask them why they sold you to us. I miss it, people. And they're now starting to use famous entertainers to push this line. I just saw Kodak Black do a video, and Kodak Black was in the video was like, black people ain't shit. Africans ain't shit. I'm sitting here all these years, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about I'm mad at white people for what they did. Only come to find out that we the ones who made that happen. We the ones who did it to ourselves. They've been passing this around for a minute, and this ain't the first time I talk about this here. But I realize now that they're starting to use famous black people to push the narrative. You might not think anything of it when somebody like a Kodak Black starts saying this, but you got to remember something. Remember who pardoned Kodak Black? Remember how instrumental Kodak Black was during the election to get black people to vote a certain way for a certain person? He'll also be instrumental in switching their minds into thinking, blame yourself, because y'all did it to yourself. Now imagine a big crime like that and the perpetrators of it and their offsprings walk away with all the loot and leave us holding the blame. The victims now hold the blame also. That's wicked. That's wicked. But you know, it's conniving as hell. And I can't help but to think it's well orchestrated as well. We must not fall for this. So, in a nutshell, I'm going to tell you what happened. We always been the loving, caring kind of people, right? So, people came. And when they came, they didn't know where the hell they were going. They were washing up on our shores. Stranded here, not too professional at navigating those seas like we were, because we had been to this side of the globe already and back home. So we knew the treacherous waters, right? We knew how to navigate the seas. They didn't really know that much. They weren't experts at sailing. They came though. And like we always do, we open the doors, we offer food, we offer everything else. Come on in. It's rough out there. Damn. You know, we've been out there before, man. We do good out there. Y'all look hungry. You want something to eat? And like we always do, even to this day, we start showing everything we have. This is how you do this. This is how you don't do that. This is where we keep this. This is where that is. We still do that to this day. They started looking. They were like, damn, they got a lot of shit. We don't have none of this. They got spices and herbs and unlimited amount of salt. Scurvy is killing us on the other side. My teeth falling out. I'm only 35. My gums, my teeth are black. Look at their teeth. It looks like porcelain. Shit. Ooh, they have diamonds, gold. Oh my God. Oh. Hey man, you see how friendly they are? We could definitely exploit this. It first started out with, because see, on the continent, we always had we always been tribal, and we always had tribal wars. In our tribal wars, though, let's use two for example. Hutus, Zulus go to war. It's war. People are dead. Those who were captured, say the Zulus captured the Hutus, enslaved them. These Hutu men that went to war that were enslaved, they were never stripped off their names. They were never stripped off their ancestral ways of worship. They were never stripped off at the core who they were. But they were held in servitude, bondage, and they were made to work their way back to freedom, right? Chattel slavery was different. Chattel slavery was meant to break you and meant for you to completely forget your ancestral lineage. So they would give you a god to pray to in their image. They would tell you how to eat, tell you how to sex, tell you how to sleep, tell you how to think. It started out making deals. They had trinkets that we didn't have. We didn't have that because we were never thinking we want to kill something. We weren't a killing kind of people. We war with each other with the primal stuff we had, but we weren't thinking, let's put our minds into how we can develop something that kills quicker. So we can, instead of killing one man today, I want to be able to kill 50. So you could just pow one, pow two, pow three. We never thought of that. They beat us to the punch. So when they came with their trinkets and they're like, hey, you get me some of this and I'll give you some of these. And I see you warring, Hutu and Zulu warring. You know, you could win this war quickly. And give us your war slaves. We're going to do the same thing that you did. We will have them work and we'll send the proceeds to their family while they're in servitude. And they believed them, so they did. Because they didn't come in kicking over shit and get in the boat, get in the boat. That would be later on. It is when they realized that nobody was coming back from the other side. Nobody is coming back after these ships leave. And that happened very quickly. Nobody is coming back after these ships leave. And they came back for more people. Things are booming on the other side. We're building this new world. You know, your people are going to be benefiting from this. Give us more. After a while, they were like the ruling tribes, the dominant tribes were like, nah, we're not sending anybody else till you bring back the others that left before. That is when the guns came out. That's when they up the gun on you now and it's like, pow, kill him in front of everybody. The savagery. They're like, oh shit, they killed Chief. All right, the rest of you, get your ass over there. Oh, you not moving? Pow, kill that one too. Oh my God. Okay, all right, let's go. Up, move. You take the chains, put them on his foot. Chain up all these right here, head them that way. And then that's how that started. So now the others who saw this started running and hiding and the fighting. Now they had to come in to fight to capture. They had already known now, though, all the stuff we had taught them about us. Too much. They knew where everything that we had was. They knew their way around our kingdoms, around our communities. So now they coming. And when they coming to take people. And they coming savagely. And that's how they came. So it didn't start off like us selling nobody. Our people wasn't selling us. Other people wasn't selling us, oh, go off into slavery until we never seen again. Deals were made. Conversations were had. People were tricked. And when they realized they were tricked and wouldn't go along with it anymore, it became rape, murder, pillage, and plundering. By force. Bloodshed. So now today to see them try to turn the story around and say, Y'all did this to yourself. Don't blame us. Damn, that's wicked. And y'all about to fall for it too? Because I see some of us doing it. I'm not mad at nobody because we did that to ourselves. Well, I'm not saying be mad at anybody, but damn sure don't walk around thinking we did that to ourselves, because we didn't. We didn't do it to ourselves. Some wicked people did that to us. And that has to be handed to the wicked people that did it. Kai Drive. Yeah, that's still our weakness to this day, you know. To this very day, it's still our weakness. I'll give you an example. I saw a couple of African brothers dancing, and they make up a dance routine, right? And I mean, the dance routine is sharp. They do all these freeze stuff, and then it looks like they're in the wind, and then they click, 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 whatever. The dance routine is sharp. And I see very few black Africans. They're like, that's all right. It's all right. I can do that too. That is all right. And then I see one little European come and imitate the same thing they just did and didn't even do it half as good. And they crowd around him and they're like, yeah. You see this? Yo. He's the best. Awarding their mediocre. It's your own thing. I even see it in Jamaica now. We have dancers in Jamaica who do the traditional dance choreography stuff. And we're like, yeah, them all right. Two girls from Russia come down, do the same move them. Yo, Shaban. Like, yo. It didn't look halfway decent. You out your clothes. How wicked that was, and like it's the best you ever seen. Hey, man. I can't say we should stop. I could just say that was our downfall. So no, we did. I want you to walk away today remembering this. We didn't sell us. So next time you hear that narrative being pushed, you tell the story this way, because this is the way it actually happened. You know, the thing we call his story. Yeah. Whoever dominates history will tell the story his way. So we end up with his story. I don't want his story of me and mine. Because we have our story written our way from our people. So you have to be careful to how you're getting the material, from who you're getting the material from. Yeah, that way. And again, we never did us that way. When a gun is to your face, everybody ain't going to take a shot to the forehead. It would be ideal, but everybody ain't going to take a shot to the forehead. It's just like me saying, if I was to be around during the time of chattel slavery, I would have died early, because I would have staged mass rebellion, and then they would have eventually caught me and killed me, right? And then we also go on to say, well, if everybody did the same thing, slavery would have ended a long time ago. That's kind of like saying, if the world was perfect today and there was no racism and everybody loved each other and you didn't have bills to pay and you just woke up and you just enjoyed life, you gotta talk foolishness, because that is a perfect world that would never happen, right? So it's wishful thinking. It never happened. Would never happen. Me know me wouldn't survive too long around this. It would have been a short-lived. But those who endured brought forth who's here now. Cause if me did that off right in the early parts, that means I might see them wouldn't have been here now. Might see them wouldn't have been here now. Anyway, moving right along. Just don't spread that narrative. It's painful to see. It hurts me to see it. It hurts me to hear black people say it. I don't give a damn where you from as a black person. What Caribbean island you from, where on the continent of 52 countries in Africa you're from, or wherever in the part of the world you're from, you're still the same people. I don't give a damn where you from. When I hear you pitch this narrative, I know where it's coming from. I know their intentions, why they sow that seed. And you can't allow that seed to grow. All right? So do your due diligence and kill that shit as soon as you see it. Every time. Every time I hear it, I kill it. Because it's a lie that once it's spread, you could imagine the ramifications of this. Generations from now, we'll be so filled with self-hate like we don't have that already, but we'll have it to a different degree. I seen somebody put up the Willie Lynch theory earlier. Absolutely in full motion. In full motion, fam. I'm going to leave this one right here like this and move on to the next topic. Kataja Empress says, when you hear that narrative, know that the person cannot read to understand. They prefer to be in doctrine. And that is so many of people today. So many of people today. You know, Willie Lynch, a 1712 speech by a slave owner detailing methods control. Yeah, Roddy's daughter, we're very well aware, but the details you must go through. Take the time to go through it. I'm surprised there are a lot of stuff out there that, you know, a lot of us don't even care to go through. We just don't want to know. I don't know why, because it's exactly what's governing the world in which you live today. And that's why you can't understand what's really going on, because you won't take the time to go look at these things. We don't just mention them something here for no reason. It is exactly what is at play right now. And if you open your mind and take in some of it, you will, it'll be your, makes sense now kind of moment, you know? Some people are in turmoil because they don't understand what's happening around them. You don't understand what's happening around them. I appreciate you greatly, BM. Thank you. Let's move topics. You know, we've been telling people for a long time now too also that social media is one of them places that's dangerous. Social media is good. It serves its purpose, but it's also dangerous. Do you want to do social media or Kiprich and Kizzy? It's up to you. You choose, I shoot. We have 2 topics left for the morning. We have social media and we have Kiprich and Kizzy. You shoot for which one we will do. I'm going to spend the rest of today putting together this GoFundMe that I spoke about at the beginning of this morning. You got 60 seconds to go. We're 10 seconds in. Roddy's daughter says Kiprich. BM says social media. 2 different topics. We are 20 seconds in and counting. 25, 26. We're at 30 seconds. With 30 seconds to go, we have 2 social media. $40 seconds. We have 10 seconds to go. All right, Kip. One that did that all along. All of a sudden, Kip jumped to the front. 4, 3, 2, 1. Kiprich it is. Kiprich beat social media by a last minute and by 1. All right. You didn't even give me a time to let me cue this one up. So Kiprich and Kizzy. You know, when Kiprich and Kizzy got together, I thought it was a joke, honestly. I was like, they might try to do some TikTok stuff. They're doing their thing on social media, and they might try to generate publicity because Kizzy is also a recording artist as well, right? So I thought that's what this was about. I didn't know that they were officially a couple. And when somebody linked me, I said, no, SouFlo, man. Because I left a comment that said, Kipo and Kizzy, me not believe that the foolishness there until me see them tongue kiss in front of everybody. That's what my comment was when I left. Somebody said, no, SouFlo, why you there? Them been together. They're like a real couple for real. Unless you not go on TikTok. And I say, I don't go on TikTok. And them said, that's why. Because if you did, you would know. Right? Anyways, Kipo and Kizzy are together. I was also thinking, damn, isn't Kizzy like 21? And isn't Kipo like 45, 46, somewhere in there? And then I learned that she is in her late 20s to early 30s. So she's not as young as I thought she was. And of course, Kipo a big man. But you know, Kipo carry himself good, so whatever. Come down to it, the age don't matter. They're two grown adults who decide to have a consenting relationship. Popular dancehall couple Kiprich and Kizzy are asking for prayers as their baby daughter was born prematurely last Friday. I watched a piece of the fix. I didn't even watch the interview because I hadn't had time to watch it yet. But I did watch a piece where Kizzy was thanking Kipo for getting her pregnant. You know, so she did try before. And me don't know, she don't know if the man them did a shoot blank. I was looking at them like, I don't even want to hear my woman talk like that. But she did try before. So you tell me as my woman say you did try make man breed you before, but it never worked. You know, but that was me and my feelings, just being funny too at the same time. But anyways, that interview, y'all can go watch it on the fix. Anyway, I'm still thinking this might have been a joke. But our belly did swell big at this time, so she was obviously pregnant. The baby, who has been named Miracle, weighed in at 1.5 pounds. 1.5 pounds. She's stable in the incubator in the hospital in Colombia. Now, when the interview upon the fix happened, they said that she had months to go before the baby was born. So when I saw them on the TikTok stream, I said, how them reach out Colombia? Because I know you're not supposed to be traveling if you're pregnant. Like, if you're advanced pregnant, it's not advised to get on a plane and go places. You know what I'm saying? The baby was born at 1 pound. 1.5 pound. She's stable in an incubator in a hospital in Colombia. She was born at 6 months and 1 week. Rotted. So that baby is super premature. Because 9 months is a full-term baby. She was born at 6 months and 1 week. A very concerned Kiprich said to the Star, he said, yes, right now we're asking for prayers. The due date for Kizzy's delivery was supposed to be in April, and the baby born in January. Sharing some more details, Kiprich added that the baby was born January 16th, little after 2 a.m. Kizzy is fine otherwise, but just concerned about the baby. It's her first child, so sometimes she breaks down crying. Now, of course, you know that is near and dear to me because we just had our daughter. Wifey just delivered our baby girl. And again, thanks be to God. Remember me telling us, any woman will have... First of all, I tell women like this. Be very selective. You see, if you give away your pum-pum in a business and your business that you can't go do what you want to do. But you see, when you decide to have children, don't have no accident, baby. And be very careful and choose wisely who. Because having a baby, man, and bringing a baby into the world, that's supposed to be like up there with the most important things you will ever do in life. Not talk about no college degree, No, nothing else can top that. Bringing a child into the world. And who you bring the child into the world for. And then I also told the men, I said, if a woman is bringing your child into the world, you should be there. In a business where you and woman make the relationship good, at least enough to be there. Because that process there, that's a dangerous process. You know, we celebrate when we see belly grow and babies coming and stuff, but in the beauty of it all, there is so much danger there. The mommy can dead, left baby, baby can dead, left mommy, a woman all right through her whole pregnancy and deliver a stillborn baby. Like there are so many things that could happen. So to have a healthy baby, you just have to think how blessed you are. I tell you, I didn't think I was gonna cry. And when Shakira done, when the doctor said, "Oh, she's right there. One push and she's out." We keep telling Shakira that she's born to do this. But by the way, she put up a video about why she will not be having any more children, and she's gonna do the process that she's gonna do to ensure that she doesn't have any more children. I'm see one man out of all people over there I talk about this is very disrespectful to your husband. She ain't disrespecting me. She did more than enough. I got more than I asked for. I'm good. And she decided that's no more, it's no more. I'm good. I 7 picnic me have, 7 picnic me get. When me I do it more, I'm cool. A lot of people stopped at 2. I'm at 7. 7 is the number of completion for me. And I told her from the day one we meet, I said I live my life in 7s. You see, if me in a relationship and it not work, you see the 7th year, that's the year to go about my business. If you can't make it work by year 7, cut. Anything me I do, if it don't work out by 7, me gone. Try something else. Do something new. Something like that, right? 7 is just the number of completion, so we're good. But back to seeing Kizzy deliver this baby at a 1 pound and 1 ounce and in an incubator, and they're now worried if the baby is going to survive and all that. I could see the worry on Kira's face. Shakira, she was trying to not show it, of course, because a woman have to be strong, and especially in a time like these, you can't just lose yourself. And I was there trying to tell her stuff like, why you going to sleep? Stay up. Stay up and get up and walk around and stuff. And she was in command of that whole session. She was like, no, I'm not staying up. I know my body. I'm gonna lay down and get some rest. In my mind, I try to tell her, get up and walk around, man, and make the baby come down and do some squats and sit down on the bouncy ball. And she was like, I'm not doing any of that. I'm laying down, going to sleep. And she did just that. She lay down, she go sleep. And she did I feel contraction in her sleep. And the contraction, them little till them get big, till it wake her up out her sleep completely, till she couldn't go back in her sleep no more. And then that's when she knew, okay, it's on its way. Us men sitting on the outside of that, looking in, you shouldn't even have nothing to say. You just have to watch the process and just be in awe of God's creation. Like, that woman here steer the ship, She know what to do next and these things. I mean, and then when the baby born now, me up there with my big old cry self, I never think that me like a ball. So when that baby came out, man, and she went, and then she stopped. First of all, my daughter came out with her umbilical cord wrapped around her neck, and I'd never seen this before. I'm an expert, because I've been there for all my kids' birth. I watch all of them come out. This one, I've heard people talk about this. I've never seen it before. Her umbilical cord was wrapped around her neck, and the doctor was so calm with it. She took out the baby and she was like, oh, you're a bit tangled up, aren't you? And she untangled the umbilical. That time me did they look like the baby a choke. The baby is purple. Because when my daughter born, she was dark purple. And at first I was like, okay, maybe she's gonna be dark skin. And then I realized, oh shit, her umbilical cord is like tight wrapped around her neck like twice. And she was like, oh, you're a bit tangled, aren't you? And she unwrapped it like this. And she said, here, mom. And Shakira took her. And Shakira took her, she started to like this on her back. And me see her color just a change. Change. Till she look. In about the first 5 minutes of her holding her, that baby changed completely. I said, damn, the umbilical cord was choking her. If she never come out when she did come out, that would have been probably an emergency situation. There's so much that can go wrong. You know? I mean, I tell you, the kind of purple when she come out, it was a dark purple. Purple dark already. So if me I say it was a dark purple, it was a dark purple. Yeah, where I said the baby was busy. Yeah, she was lacking oxygen. But then she came out and her color changed quick fast. And then she was like really light and looked different completely. But they came over after that and, tap her and she ball out. And me just ball. And I was up there trying to make everybody not realize that I was crying, but I was. And I was trying to hide it like, my eyeball them did a sweat. Man, a big man. We not cry. Them kind of thing there. But it was that. So Kiprich had traveled to Colombia to perform, they said, at a show in San Andres on Saturday, January 17. And Kizzy, now we know our age. Kizzy is 28. Kizzy, somebody asked earlier, who the hell is Kizzy? She's a popular content creator on social media and an up-and-coming entertainer as well. She have music videos and music out there as well. I'll tell you the truth, she's actually really good with the music thing. I'm thinking she's going to do really good on the music tip. Anyways, her and Kiprich, they traveled overseas to go meet his date for a bookings he had there. I don't think she should have. Honestly, I think she was too far into the pregnancy to have traveled that far. Worldwide Global Movies says I'm 25 and we don't get no youth yet. Don't hurry. Don't hurry and don't worry. Put your ducks in a row first. Get your life in order first. And live some life first. Because when time you have them, then there goes that. Okay? It becomes all about them for real. If you're going to be a good parent, it becomes all about them. I'm not one of the parents them where that's where me picking them because I still want to live life. My life consists of them. I find joy in creating a life that's beautiful for them. So if you become one of them kind of good parents, then you have to go kiss certain things that you love goodbye, right? So no worry, you're 25, you're all right. You'll be just fine. Set up yourself. Take my advice and set up yourself. All right? See there? Nan said, take your time. Foundation before family. Have something going for yourself. I'm not saying you have to wait till life is perfect and you have everything, because I certainly didn't. But you have to make sure something are going. Something sustainable at that is happening before you start bringing picnic. I'm here doing everything to keep strong for both of them. Miracle and her mom, this is what Kiprich said. Miracle and her mom, Kizzy. We don't know when we will be able to leave here, Colombia, because we have to make arrangements for the baby to go to other island for better care at a hospital with more facilities to accommodate the cause. Where they're at, apparently, doesn't have all the necessary machines and stuff to accommodate this situation that's going on right now, said Kiprich, whose real name is Marlon Plunkett. He told the Star in an interview that Kizzy had been worried about the pregnancy in the early stage, and he wanted to ensure that he was there for her in every possible way. I'm gonna say it again, but this is hindsight. She should have never traveled. She should have never get on a plane and travel. You're 6 months into your pregnancy. You don't need to be getting on a plane. That's what wifey said to me yesterday. She said that's the cutoff point. Cartanja Empress is saying that flying at 6 months pregnant is generally safe for a healthy, low-risk pregnancy. I didn't know that. I was under the impression that 3 to 4 months into your pregnancy, you cannot fly anymore after that. I did not know that it extends all the way to 6 months. Bam. Kizzy Don and Kiprich relationship was once labeled a publicity stunt, which I thought it was, forcing the couple to convince their fans that they were really together. The two are known to share their relationship journey online with their fans, and they have built up quite a following on various social media platforms. Kizzy, whose real name is Danielle Banton, has close to 300,000 followers on TikTok alone. On Christmas Day 2025, Kiprich, who is already a father, announced that he and Kizzy were expecting their first child together. The announcement caused a frenzy with a lot of congratulatory messages from friends and followers, and Kizzy has since done the expected pregnancy photo shoot and has repeatedly expressed a desire to provide a better life for their child than what she herself experienced. She said, I've learned a lot based on how I was brought up, and because of that, I'm going to ensure that my child does not go through anything that I went through. I know what it's like. I've been in it. When you're in need and your mother can't provide, while living in a fix-up foul cub, she said. She also said that at the time that although her first trimester of her pregnancy was difficult, she was doing fine now at that time and was expecting to have a healthy baby. She also gave props to Kiprich for being a considerate partner and father-to-be, noting that when she was very sick in her first trimester and throwing up all the time, Kipper walked behind me and him clean up the face basin. Anywhere me vomit, him clean it up. Because sometimes when I do, I had to just lay right there. They were having a difficult first trimester. The couple have shared that they have marriage plans. Also, they will be collaborating musically, and they have a new song out together called Get Things, making an impact on the dancehall scene last year. Yeah, the baby born in Colombia. So I guess we can just say prayers up for Kippa and Kizzy, because, I've heard stories before. My own sister was born prematurely. I don't know how much premature, but I know my mom tells stories of her being so small that they hold her like this in her one hand, and mom said she looked like a rat, that dark and very tiny like a rat, literally. So people can survive those. There are other people out there who are born prematurely at that late level and they survived. So we're hoping all the best for them and hope that the baby does pull through. Hope they get all the help that they need. And then we can watch them grow them pretty picnic and, be able to take joy in the blessings. Especially for Kizzy, this is her first child. You lose your first child is a traumatic experience. I can only imagine. I don't wish that upon nobody. I'm definitely not wishing it on her. So I wish them the best in this situation. Wish them the best. All right. So send out your best wishes. Keep them in your prayers and all these things. Lots of drama brewing behind the scenes. I saw Kiprich, baby mother, one of them, saying stuff like, if Kizzy when them know, she would have start run from now and all kind of something. We're not here for that. Sometimes the version of a person that you get is not the version that somebody else get. And people don't understand that. You know what I mean? A woman that had me before might have get the aggressive me. And that was probably in response to how you were. You was an aggressive woman, so me did have to be an aggressive man to counter your aggression. And now me have one soft woman who is a woman, like, then me can be, you know, more relaxed in my way of dealing with things. Still stepping forward, but in a different manner. So when you describe a certain me, the other person can't relate. That's how I was looking at it when the baby mother was up there. I say all the things and what she'd have said. I'm like, why now? Why now? We never hear about you before. Until now, the man look happy. The man start do TV interviews and stuff together, and out the woodworks, here you come. So I wish Kizzy and Kiprich all the best, right? And we'll definitely keep them and the baby in prayers. One of my granddaughter was 14 ounce, just under a pound, when she was born, and she survived. She is now 31 years old. How far was she in Carthage? What month? How many months was she? We'll keep them in our prayers, Donna. Moving right along. Our last topic for the morning is think before you post. Actually, that can, yeah, that's our last topic for the morning. It has to do with what you're posting on social media. But it also has to do with like the Noel Maitland case and all those other things, right? So, as Jamaica's digital landscape evolves, well, as the digital landscape globally evolves, social media has become a stage for public debate, speculation, sometimes accusations. The rise of social media has allowed content creators to dissect ongoing criminal cases. Hold on. Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning.
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 We can
family.
say something on the pregnancy.
Yeah, can me just start that topic here. I'm glad you never call me later. Well,
we can talk, sir?
Yeah.
Okay. So you see, like the premature baby, like they say 6 months and 2 weeks, it's quite okay. They will live with proper treatment, proper equipment, and good doctors.
6 months and 2 weeks.
Yes, but I heard you said her baby is 6 months and 1 week.
Right.
But they said the perfect, well, not perfect baby, but the perfect premature baby is like 7 months and 2 weeks. So that will get a good time to live, a good chance of living. So like that time the baby will weigh like 5 pounds or 4.5 pounds, right? I'm no expert, but I'm just saying from what I've seen, people who have known before and I've seen that happen. Yes. And then on your side now, with your baby, what you said, just born, with the card wrap around the neck and the baby blue, your baby was perfectly fine. Your baby weren't dying. Because the fact that he came up with the card wrap tangled, I mean, it just tangled props long weeks before I turn it, moving and all of that stuff. But the thing is, if contraction and the child wasn't coming through, that's where the danger lies.
Okay.
Yes, because like my child now, who was stuck inside of me with the card hanging him. So that was it. So he was dying and he was killing me as well. Oh. Yes. So
did they do an emergency C-section to get yours out?
Of course. That's why I'm living today.
Okay.
Because my nails started turning black and blue.
Oh wow.
So that's when they tell us, a nurse tell her that Jamaica, so nobody talk about up here, because you know you have properly monitor early and see that. But you picture Jamaica, you did it, you're in a pain. Yeah, and that drip on top of pain. So that's a non-stop pain. So I heard when the doctor came in and she said, wow, you got beautiful nails. Indeed, I have beautiful nails, but when she screamed that out, I knew something was wrong.
Your nails were so dark, she thought you had like done your nails, put on like Q-Tex.
No, she see. So what I have little natural growing nails, and my nails are always beautiful. My toenails and my fingernails, they're pretty. People always notice me for that. So when she said, "Wow, your nails are beautiful," but they were turning black and blue. So when going to clinic, nurse will warn her, don't put on no fingernail, don't put on no Q-Tex. It was Q-Tex those time. I don't know, false fingernail. So that people want to look pretty and all of that, and then tell them not put on false there because maybe you have to go through that emergency C-section and they try to less hair and stuff like that, and the eyelashes there because I saw they send one lady to pick her eyelashes. So don't joke about that. Pick them up because she was going to do a C-section, but hers was actually planned. But like me now, go to the theater and a life and death situation. My baby like passes stool inside of me already. And like I was 6.5 centimeters. And each time my contraction came and I push, the monitor was going blank. So they call in that first doctor, then they call in the head doctor.
Mm-hmm.
And they ask me the question, how long you have your last child? And it's okay, we're going to put you out of your misery. So I knew I was in danger from the nurse told me that my baby passes through. But she said not to worry, but she was a very nice nurse. And once you meet a nurse in Jamaica, and they're very nice, you don't know them, they're just doing their job. I thought she was properly raised, to respect people, no matter how they look, their color, their background, or whatever it is. Yes. So in Jamaica, you meet nurses and you don't have to pay them. And they're nice. You just have to hold up your hand and tell God thanks because you don't normally meet those people. Some of them in pain, they just the nurse for your name. Why you want to know my name for? It's a huggish situation in Jamaica for labor and even the whole healthcare thing. But speaking to the pregnancy, it's, as I say, you give your hats off to woman and respect and all of that. Woman go through life and death situation because mine, I'm just happy to be here. And I said it one time, I'm happy that C-section came in and Queen Victoria paid the ultimate price for me because that's how C-section started happening when her baby was stuck, double wrapped with the umbilical cord. And after she died, they cut her open and saw that the child was wrapped that way and couldn't be born. So that's all. Repeat what you said?
No, I said the cut her open and find that the baby was hung by the umbilical cord.
Yes. So right. Yes. So that's how they start coming up with ideas how to do C-section and cut babies out when ladies are in difficulty and start knowing the signs when they are near death experience because your lips start turn different color, the nails and foot bottom and stuff like that. All right. So that is what happened. So I wish Kiprich and the baby all the very best.
Indeed.
And yes.
Indeed.
All right.
All right, my friend. Thanks for sharing, yes. Oh, somebody put up on the screen earlier because I said the version of you that somebody gets today might not be the version somebody got before, right? And people do change depending on who they're with. Maybe I was with somebody who wasn't so soft, so I had to be a certain kind of aggressive kind of way. Somebody put up, is Shakira really soft though? Is Shakira really soft though? She's learning to be. She's learning to be. She's soft enough for me. Yeah. I never wanted a pushover of a woman, I don't want no woman where, how should I say it now? I don't want no woman that don't have no mind of them own. kind of thing. You know what I mean? Remember, I know this woman that you having children with, and I'll tell every man this too. This woman we not choose to have children with. You see, that that woman is her character is gonna raise your children, and she's gonna impart that character onto your children. So even with Shakira's rough edges when she decides to be that, I want them same characters there in my daughters. You know, she's not she's not like I call them clothespin. I call them clothespin woman. She's not a clothespin woman. You know what clothespin mean? You know, you squeeze her head and her leg them open kind of thing. Yeah, she not one of them kind of woman there. She's not easily impressed, talk sweet to me gone with you. She is not you can draw me around no corner, show me no banana kind of woman. She's you know what I'm saying? My wife got I look for like the warrior spirit, I should say. Just don't war me all the time though. But me look for I look for the warrior spirit. Now if you look for the warrior spirit, you know, sometimes you're gonna get war too. So that goes with it. And then you have to go learn how to, you know what I mean, make her know say this and that and we continue to build from there. So asking if she's soft, there's different levels to soft. I'm not talking about docile then. That's the word I was looking for. I'm not talking about docile, but definitely a warrior spirit. See? Oh, man. Yeah, she's definitely not a pushover. Definitely not a pushover. And I love that because I know, say, well, as far as my children are concerned, you're not going to be able to manipulate, push her over, violate none of the picnic them, nothing like that, even if I'm not around. Feel me? Why would you take 6-month pregnant baby mama on a 4 or 5 hour flight just so you can be next to her throughout the whole pregnancy? Big carelessness. Somebody say. You see how in a phrase that though? Why would you take your 6-month pregnant baby mom? How about this? Why would she take herself just so she can be close to him? That's the way you have to say, you know. People are under the impression like the man run the woman and him say, stay there, son, sit down, and she just stay and sit down until me come back. Or she say, I'm going too. If you're going, I'm going. And you probably hear say, flying at 6 months, okay. And them say, yeah, she can fly at 6 months, man. I haven't seen Uno have any problems so far that would indicate that this is a risky pregnancy, you know. And she did. Sick Kiprich, me I tell you, say me can go. And him say, all right, babes, come. And boom, then that happened. He gone already, man. No, ease up with the blame thing. All right? Ease up with the blame thing. Moving right along, though. Different topic. But I do love a strong spirit of a woman. You have to be careful when you ask for them something they do, because they do come with spirit strong and head strong and all kind of thing, but still, it's the trait. It's the character and the trait where you want to impart. If my daughter come up with our mother traits, then I know she's going to be able to survive the world. Put it that way. See? All right. And again, best of prayers and well wishes to Kiprich and Kizzy. And I hope all works out. So as Jamaica's digital landscape evolves and the world's digital landscape evolves, social media has become a stage for public debate, speculation, sometimes accusations even. The rise of social media has allowed content creators to be able to dissect ongoing criminal investigations or cases, to air out allegations, and to share personal opinions that reach wide audiences. But what are the real consequences of this online commentary? Attorney at law Bert Samuels notes that people have always shared their opinions, but today the audience is far larger and the platforms are far more immediate. Venting is not new. The media is new, he said. They now have a tool, which is their phone. And it is no longer under a bus shed, a park, or upon a street corner. It has now gone into our homes through these phones. So the rise of social media has given new life to what some describe as the bring down culture, where individuals are quick to call out or accuse or even pronounce guilt on others, often before the facts are verified. But the veteran attorney warned, however, that online statements, they do carry serious legal risks. So when you're saying something privately, that's one thing. But when it's published, it becomes very dangerous. Legal action against online commentators is often complicated by issues of identification and jurisdiction. The restrictions is you don't know who said it. The address of who said. Some of these commentators are abroad and we don't know when or where they are. We don't know where they are. So while freedom of expression protects public commentary to an extent, Samuel stressed that there are clear boundaries that must not be crossed. People have a balance. They have to balance the freedom of expression when they are hurt, yes, but sometimes they are speculating about the person they believe carried out an act, but we have to be careful. I don't understand what that means. So why I tell the people them so them can't speculate? Because speculation is not a crime, you know. If I am looking at the Noel Maitland case and I am speculating that he might have killed Donnelly Donaldson based on all the evidence that has been presented and made public so far, if me can look upon the case as an intelligent or halfway decent, intelligent individual, and I can say, well, she walked into the apartment, she never walked out. There's video footage of her going in. There's a camera there who never caught any video footage of her coming out. Just him come out by himself. Nobody saw her leave. No other camera on the compound leave. Saw her going out. But multiple cameras caught her coming in. If I am able to piece that together with blood found in his apartment in various different locations, and then blood at the mat, the entrance mat of the front door, and the timing of when he decides it's time to move a couch and go car wash. And then the car wash attendee said, Jesus Christ, where all this blood come from? And him said, no man, my cousin cut him hand because we did a little work around the house, you know. Cut him hand and him hand a bleed. And she said, he must be dead because a whole heap of blood this. And if I should put all these things together along with the cell phone data that his phone was present with her phone when her phone eventually fell off grid and was never seen or heard from again, and a bunch of other sitting, it's not criminal for me to speculate that him do something to her, no. So my summation of that is, so him kill her in the apartment. I don't know if he willingly kill her outright or accidentally because they were fighting and him couldn't control temper, liquor, she dead. Oh shit, him panic, try to get rid of the body. How me I gonna do this now? Alright, me I gonna send me need to clean the couch, so I put her in the couch and carry out the couch so the camera them don't see me I carry out a body bag or a sheet wrap up with bloody or something. I think him kill her and put her in the couch and bring out the couch, you know. Anybody with sense would look at that and say that's the only logical explanation as to how she came out that apartment. Anybody would look at that and say it makes sense that you would think, say, him do something to her, or him responsible for her death. I love how these attorneys come in and start telling you to be careful of your speculation, and then they start talking about legal action against those commentators out there and social media influencers and content creators, you know. I think what they're doing is they're trying to scare people on their platforms because they also know that the other flip side to this is just as much as our people here listen to what we say, there are people out there, potential jury members and others, even law enforcement officials, even a judge who is in charge of a case, might be tuned into one of these platforms and sit down and listen to how you say you look on the case and add up all the evidence that's been brought forth so far. And I said, in the quiet of their own home. You know, say that makes sense, you know. I agree. That's what they're trying to prevent. That's what they're trying to prevent, right? So them why if you stay quiet, so them can do what them have to do, lie them way out of anything, make up story, free them client, and then you out here with a thinking mind must be scared of legal repercussions. Because if you open your mouth and say what you are thinking and you're only speculating, I'm going to sue you for your speculation. He said the restriction is you don't know who said it. Okay. He said people have to balance the freedom of expression when they are hurt. Yes. But sometimes they are speculating about the person they believe carried out an act. But we have to be careful. Additionally, Samuel said that public speculation and venting can complicate matters. He added that pre-trial publicity remains a critical concern within the justice system. I think when you go and say who did it and why you think, the person can go and say they can't get a fair trial because you went ahead and published about the case, he said. I want you to pay attention to that now. He thinks that when you go and say, like for instance, I go and say on my platform, I think Noel killed Donnelly, giving my opinion based on the evidence that has been presented to us so far. If they did not want the public to speculate, why did they release evidence and up-to-date word for word conversation from the courtroom as if we are there? So we must listen to all this and have no speculation, or listen to all this and just stay quiet. We can't say, I don't believe that. That doesn't sound like it makes sense. Or, yep, that makes sense because I think this is how that went. Why would that prevent somebody from having a fair trial? We're not in the courtroom. The public is not in the courtroom, and the public will always have an opinion. So when since did public opinion determine what happens in a courtroom? Because a courtroom is supposed to be an environment where you have the accused and then you have all professionals, judge, the defense, the prosecution, and then of course you're going to have civilians over on the jury side. That don't have nothing to do with outside. What we say outside would not matter what is going on in that courtroom. Additionally, Samuel said that public speculation and venting can complicate matters. He added that pre-trial publicity remains a critical concern within the justice system. I think when you go and say who did it and why you think the person can actually go and say that they can't get a fair trial, is that the only defense that's left for Noel is for him to say he can't get a fair trial because his case was too widely publicized? Can't draw for that, you know. Can't draw for that. Because I remember Vybz Kartel them long case. And Vybz Kartel is a way more prominent, well-known, famous person even back then than Noel is. And them never draw for that. He's crucified in the public already. So there's no way he can get a fair trial because he sings certain songs which are going to be held against him. So there's no way he could get a fair trial. That could have been a defense of his then, right? They can say that the potential juror would have seen it, what you said, and therefore had come to a conclusion based on what them hear you say, like what them hear me say. You know, some things that a person there is a SouFLoTV subscriber, and somehow him getting another juror the head, and now them think Noel did it, and him bring out the body in the couch, and so meanwhile, Senior Superintendent of Police, Delia Garrick, who leads the corporate communication unit in Jamaica Constabulary Force, stressed that investigators consider all available information when probing crimes, including claims circulating on social media, but warned of the potential dangers of public speculation. Again, Jamaica always backwards. I don't see no court system in the United States of America warning anybody about public speculation. You know why? Because the public is always going to speculate, and that's not something anybody can control. Once a story hits public airwave, the public is going to speculate. How do you control millions and hundreds of millions of people having an opinion on something that is public? She went on to say information from any source is information. So we would treat initially as information and then intelligence. And it may become part of the investigation even. The senior cop, however, urged that people should report information directly to law enforcement rather than sharing it to content creators on or sharing it publicly. If you are a witness, there is a particular way that we treat you to ensure your safety and how the information is documented. And if what you are saying has merit, you become part of a formal investigation, is what she explained. Listen, people free to talk. You can't stop the crowd from talking. So all this about speculation and be careful of your speculation. I would tell people this, be careful of your accusations, because there's a difference. Be careful of your accusations. To speculate is not a crime. Your accusations, however, can get you in trouble. You know what I mean? When you accuse somebody and you have absolutely no proof, but you are up here on a platform saying adamantly that I am absolutely sure, say a John killed Richard, he murdered the man, he murdered him. Now you could get in trouble. You could get in trouble because when you get served those papers and you have to go defend yourself, and the judge say, well, you know, you made a very flagrant statement accusing Mr. John of murdering Mr. Richard. Where did you get such information from? Was it from law enforcement report who said that that's what it is? Was it from a court proceeding where this was mentioned? And if the answer is no, me just know say him do it. Oh, defamation of character lawsuit. You know, you can get yourself in a trouble for that. That's accusation though. That's a difference between accusation and speculation, though. Speculation is more like, I think that's how it's going on. That makes sense. Because how else did she come out the apartment kind of thing? Show me another way that she could have came out the apartment. And if the answer is there's no other way, she would have had to come out the same door she went in, where the cameras are trained and then didn't catch her coming out, then you could say, based on that, I think he did it. I think him kill her and move her out with the coach. Why else the timing of the coach so off? If my woman was missing and police are look for her and everybody are look for her and it's front page news, cleaning my couch would be the last thing on my mind. Taking my couch to the car wash would be the last thing on my mind. Even if that was scheduled before, it wouldn't have been such a pressing issue to get it done now. Matter of fact, I'm not moving anything in my apartment because I don't want anybody to look at me like, watch him, watch SouFlo over there move the couch. Evidence in my hiding up. I would have been even more keen on, especially as a police officer, me not touch nothing. Make whoever want come and search, because I'm innocent, right? Make whoever want come and search, send the forensic team, send your investigating officers. I'm not touching anything. Mr. SouFlo, from the day she went missing until today, did you rearrange anything in that house? I can say no, I did not. I did not touch a thing in there. I left everything as is because I wanted y'all to come and do your investigation because I know I didn't do anything. Now you busy in there, rearrange this and change out this and pull down this and put that over this one, take couch, car, gone, a car wash. That's a big, that leaves everybody to speculate. The underhanded tactics that they use all the time, right? Where sir, they come up with these scare tactics trying to shut people up. Him not have no back door in my apartment. Him have one apartment, we have one balcony. And he's not on the first floor, he's up. I believe he's on the second floor, if I'm not mistaken. If it's not the second floor, it's the third floor, but I believe it's the second floor. So, unless somebody says she jump over the balcony and run away. But there's no back door to this apartment, and this apartment was not on the ground floor. It's not like she's going to be like, I'm leaving, we're arguing, I don't want to be here. Jump over the balcony from second story. Or let me climb down the side of the balcony from second story. I don't want to use the front door. It don't make no sense. It don't make no sense. Even if they were having an argument and she decided to leave, 24-year-old young lady, she go walk right out the front door that she came in. You know what? I don't want to stay here anymore. Call Uber or call Lyft or call a ride or call a friend. Somebody come pick me up. Yeah, come get me please from over nowhere. Now come downstairs now. She would have walked right out the front door and go about her business. She's not going to jump over the balcony from upper or whatever floor in the pan and climb down the building side or just jump over. So I'm leaving this way. Speculation, I got kill them. Because me not stop speculate. And I'm only speculating based on evidence. The same evidence they're going through in the courtroom that they're publishing back to us, the public. I never make up nothing. I never put something that never happened in there. And again, I've never heard any lawyer or any media house in the US warn the public to not speculate. Never. Jamaica boy, may I tell you. We're going to keep a close eye on that Noel Maitland case though. Right? Because I see, I'm going to close out this morning by saying this. I see some kind of tactics we are going. Hold on there. Live on the air with SouFlo. Good morning.
Yes. Flo, these lawyers are mad. You know what happened? They think that everybody who they see on YouTube aren't able to read their language and understand and have the capability to put forward proper statement. And we think that all of them are educational.
No, hold on. I'll go a step further for you.
Mm-hmm.
They know that it's not so. They know that there are educated people out here who are capable of thinking and breaking a case down accurately to
Exactly.
that's
they
what
mad.
they fear. Them not fear the one them who chat foolishness because
No,
other,
they don't.
other
You them
fear
two
the ones who are capable, my friend.
So they are mad. So if we have 100 YouTubers, 3 have the capability to think out of the box.
And those are the 3 that they fear.
Exactly.
Right.
So that's why they're bound to kill now. Them cross, they're mad, they're angry, they're miserable at these 3 persons. Yes, man. So they don't like this. So they look out and they say, stop listening to social media and stop speculating. Why the hell are them to tell people not to speculate and have their own opinion? And go behind the box, the shadow, and think what happened. People are not fool nowadays. Not because we never rubbed shoulders with them in law school or go do a law degree. We can't think like them, quote unquote, because they graduate top-notch at their classes and go to overseas universities. They go take several seats and sit down and leave people. Because some of them are them same way as doorkeepers in many things, same way. Because it's funny, you know, because you're trying to tell people not to think.
Right.
So you're still doorkeeper as well. If you look at it in a broad scale, because you don't tell me, say, me not to think, I'm not to put it out. So we have to think what happened in the past. What about the present and what is going to happen in the future? Because as I say, social media, it's good and it is bad. So we have to decide what to lock off and what to take in and digest. You understand me? So good information, very good information are out there on social media. So it comes down to choice, what you choose to listen to. If you choose to go low frequency or high frequency.
All right.
That's what I have to say.
All right. Manners. All right. And with that said, what is that? Flo, ever since I was born, I never heard nothing like that in Jamaica. Even now that I'm living in the US, somebody taking a couch to a car wash. He's a damn liar. Yeah, they're trying to like dumb it down. What I see is going on with the Noel Maitland case. I even see the media taking part in it. Like some of the stuff that they should be publishing to the public, they started out being very consistent with the testimonies that were given in court and everything. And once it starts to build a narrative, right? Can you connect the pieces? Once you start to build a narrative like, oh shit, he looks like he's guilty. What they do next is them just stop reporting and then they break. And then they start giving you what happened last week in court, this week. And then next week, them give you what happened this week in court. So you're always behind and you're trying to catch up and you don't really know what going on with the case. And then boom, them drop what happened today on you, what happened today on you tomorrow. But there's a whole gap that's missing in there. So even them go about doing it in a way where they try to confuse the public when they're working to free somebody that they don't want to go do the time. You know what I mean? People are connected through the system. Like Valerie Nita Robertson said before she passed away. Valerie Nita Robertson said, Jamaica is small. And everybody knows everybody here. And she was talking about within law. Jamaica is small. Everybody know everybody. That means judge, lawyers, the prosecutor them versus the defense lawyers, politicians. They all know each other. And because of that, the media personnel who is in charge of headlining stories and all that, they're a part of it too. Them know the prosecutor, them know defense, them know this, them know high-ranking police officials, everything. Jamaica small. Everybody know each other. So I'm not going to run a story upon my brethren because, or I'm not going to run a story that's bad about this organization because I am a, you know me, I say I'm a big supporter of this organization. So when one of their own fall, we might put the story out there, but we don't put it out there with all the details so them look so bad, or we don't cover it so closely. The media is a powerful thing. Okay? If the media want you to look bad, them can really make you look bad. Cause all them have to do is just keep going at it and give you every little update to a story. If they want the public to forget a story, they will drop pieces every now and then, but they won't give you all the update. Once people get confused and don't know what really are going, they usually feel not attached to the story anymore, so them leave it alone. Right? It's a tactic that they use. But that's Jamaica for you, right? That's Jamaica for you. Absolutely. Donald Thompson says, Flo, the system corrupt with most police and judges. There are other stories out there which we will continue tomorrow right here on this channel when we do our morning thoughts tomorrow morning. We're going to leave it right here so for today. So, manners and respect to everybody tuning in. I appreciate you greatly. Thank you for being here. And stay tuned for tomorrow mornings. Like my grandmother, Miss Ruby, said, be good. If you can't be good, be careful, but it's best to be good. And like my grandfather, Mas Clevey, said, I will see you tomorrow if God spare life. We are not God. I don't care how much material thing, money, and all that you have, accolades. You're not God. You can't go take tomorrow and bring it come give nobody. If today is the last day for them, today is the last day for them. Not even yourself, you can't give tomorrow to. You gotta hope and pray and hope that you're in the best of the Most High's wishes for you to see tomorrow. And if so, then you will. So my grandfather said, I will see you tomorrow if God spare life. All right. See you tomorrow. Walk good and, be good. I'm out. Peace.